Lesson 19. The Wisdom of Waiting. Waiting is not wasted time. Waiting is formation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." The Christian desert monks taught, "Do not rush what God is shaping." And Scripture says, "Those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength." We often think waiting means nothing is happening. But in the spiritual life, waiting is one of the most active, transformative states of the soul. Waiting stretches you. Waiting deepens you. Waiting reveals you. Waiting prepares you. The world hates waiting. Everything is instant. Instant answers, instant reactions, instant gratification. But the soul does not grow instantly. The soul grows slowly, quietly, deeply. You can feel this in your own life. You pray for clarity, and it doesn't come right away. You want healing, but the process takes longer than you hoped. You want a door to open, but it stays closed for a season. You want a relationship to change, but the other person is not ready. You want your own heart to mature, but it moves at its own pace. Waiting is uncomfortable because it confronts our illusions of control. It exposes our impatience. It reveals our attachments. It shows us where we still try to force life instead of trusting it. The Christian desert monks understood this deeply. They believed that waiting is not a pause in spiritual growth. Waiting is spiritual growth. They said, "The fruit ripens in silence," meaning the most important transformations happen beneath the surface, where no one sees. Scripture echoes this with the words, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him." Stillness is not passivity. Stillness is trust. Waiting teaches you to trust what you cannot see, to trust timing you do not control, to trust a process you do not fully understand, to trust God in the silence. Waiting also reveals your desires. When you wait, you discover what you truly want, not the surface wants, not the ego wants, but the deep wants of the soul. Some desires fade in waiting. Some desires strengthen. Some desires transform. Some desires reveal themselves as illusions. Waiting clarifies the heart. Waiting also strengthens patience. Not passive patience, but spiritual patience. Patience that says, "I don't need to rush what God is shaping. I don't need to force what isn't ready. I don't need to panic in the silence." Marcus Aurelius wrote that the mind becomes wise when it accepts the pace of nature. The monks said, "The impatient heart cannot see God." Scripture says, "In quietness and trust is your strength." Waiting is where strength is born. But waiting is not easy. It brings anxiety, doubt, frustration, fear. It makes you wonder if you're forgotten. It makes you question your path. It makes you feel stuck. This is where prayer becomes essential. What is prayer in seasons of waiting? Prayer is not asking God to hurry. Prayer is not begging for answers. Prayer is not trying to control the outcome. Prayer is surrender. Prayer is alignment. Prayer is resting in God while the future unfolds. Prayer helps in three profound ways. 1. Prayer calms the anxious mind. When you whisper, "Lord, have mercy," your thoughts slow down, your breath deepens, your heart softens. 2. Prayer anchors you in the present. Waiting becomes unbearable only when you live in the future. Prayer brings you back to now, the only place where peace exists. 3. Prayer opens the heart to trust. You stop trying to force timing. You stop trying to control outcomes. You begin to believe that God is working even when you cannot see it. The Christian desert monks repeated short prayers throughout the day, not to escape waiting, but to endure it with grace. You can do the same. When waiting feels heavy, whisper, "Lord, give me patience." When waiting feels confusing, whisper, "Lord, guide my heart." When waiting feels lonely, whisper, Lord, be with me. Prayer doesn't speed up the process. Prayer strengthens you for the process. You can also practice waiting in simple ways. Slow your breath, take one mindful step at a time, release the need to know everything, focus on what is yours to do today. Let tomorrow take care of itself. Waiting becomes easier when you stop fighting it, and each day you can return to 3 simple movements. Trust the timing. Life unfolds at the pace of wisdom. Stay present. The present moment is always enough. Return to prayer. Let God hold your heart. Waiting is not punishment. Waiting is preparation. Waiting is protection. Waiting is formation. And when the time is right, what is meant for you will not pass you by. Thank you for spending this quiet moment with me. If this lesson brought you peace, consider sharing it with someone who may need it. Until next time, stay gentle with your soul.